Jason Tatum, there was nothing quiet about his 54-point performance that got them the win over KD, Kyrie, and the Nets. Jalen, is it time to start really taking the Celtics seriously in the Eastern Conference?
Taking the Celtics serious almost is like taking my fit serious. You got to. It's mandatory. Absolutely, my brother. Here's the thing. They had to iron out the dynamic of who's going to be the go-to guy with the Celtics. The elephant in the room with this roster as the season started, and I mentioned Ime Udoka was going to get this team to play defense, and Marcus Smart alluded to it basically earlier in the press conference when he talked about sharing the ball. So that's the 2 points of contention that they've really improved at since the first of the year. They've been the best defensive team in the league. Yep. And Marcus Smart, practicing what he preaches, had 9 assists yesterday. Now, ironing out the dynamics, it was foolish for anybody to ever say out of their mouths that the Celtics should trade Jalen Brown. Newsflash, you're not going to get a better player in return that's currently in the league, and you're not going to draft the player that's going to be better than Jalen Brown. So that was just dumb all the way around. He also had over 20 yesterday. And so what I mean is when Tatum is going, it's his time to shine on the big stage, 54 points. And by the way, we get so caught up in like who's a contender in the East and who may win it all. But let's just go old school basketball for a second. It was a Sunday afternoon and Jason Tatum was playing against Kevin Durant. And one of those guys had over 50 and the other guy returned and had over 30. It was a great game actually for the most part.
It was a great game. The Nets had a lead in the end of the third quarter, but it was Tatum who took over in the fourth. And we always talk about Brown and Tatum when they deserve that kind of shine, but what really has this defense in particular going are the two Williamses, Time Lord and Grant, and Horford's giving them good minutes. And Marcus Smart is anybody who's got the ball, he is playing and he's going to cover. The defense on this Celtics team is what propelled them. And in a 7-game series when things slow down and you get to game plan for another team, the defense is what can get you a win in a 7-game series.
And effort, like you mentioned, that defense, that multiple efforts, help and recover, contest and recover, and then clearing the backboard also. Al Horford has had a couple of double-digit rebounding games, and as you mentioned, Robert Williams blocking shots, changing shots, catching lobs, and I appreciate his improvement. And as I was watching him, it reminded me of like Mitchell Robinson in a lot of ways for the Knicks. Like when you have two young players that are both bigs and you're nurturing them along, it seems like Robert Williams has now taken that leap. And Mitchell Robinson has been terrific. He's leading the league in field goal percentage, but like as a parallel, that's what you want to see from a young big. And that now has stabilized their starting lineup. And again, I've always talked about one of the weaknesses of the Celtics, in particular defensively, is that Tatum or Brown were usually guarding a player that was 25 or 30 pounds heavier than them, in particular the last 4 minutes of the game. Well, when Williams is playing well, both Williams are playing well, and you get quality minutes from Al Horford, now that allows Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum to play more like wings, and that's freed them up to score and do other things out on the floor.
Jalen, I hang out a lot with you outside of this television show, and one of the things we always joke about is the fact that you attend events without tickets. Like, you'll just go to the Lakers game and just walk in because people just open doors for you. Well, we had a similar situation with another former NBA player at this game in the Garden. Let's just take a look at what happened with Glenn Big Baby Davis.
Oh, these are our seats? Yeah. All right.
Huh?
Big Baby Davis is, this is y'all seats? Okay. Jalen, you've been to 1 million basketball games. How does this happen?
Well, this happens when you enter the arena. Big Baby know that wasn't his seat. Look down at your ticket. He know how to read.
They take track of those ones right next to the court.
Won a championship with the squad. He knows the seating arrangement and how it works. I'm pretty sure he's filled tickets out in envelopes for families and friends. He know what it is. But the funniest thing about it is when he looked left and looked right, and then he did the nervous point. When somebody said his name, look, He's hoping, so look, save me. Yo, what up? You know what I'm saying? Watch your point.
At the very
Ain't nobody calling you, dog. Look.
I also like, if those were my seats, I would wait until the camera was off him. You know what I mean? It's just like, just let him have his 10 seconds on camera, and then I'll let him know that those are my seats after they get off. Shout out to Glenn Big Baby Davis, friend of the show, been on the show before. Jalen.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.